Good morning. Time to make the coffee. French vanilla this morning. A good basic coffee. I like French vanilla ice cream too. Not so hot on chocolate ice cream. I don't know why, even though I like chocolate a lot. But chocolate ice cream, I don't know. Not my favorite. So today I should go to Costco because I'm running low on dog food and dog treats. It's always about the dogs. I don't even know if I'd go to Costco if it wasn't for my puppies. But I started them on Costco dry food when they were babies because I heard it had a good rating. I hope it still does. But that's what they were raised on, so I go to Costco and get their dog food, although it's gone up quite a bit too, like everything else. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not out. I could go another few days, but I need gas in the car. I always want to keep that above half a tank, and I do that, but I'm not quite at a half tank yet. And of course, that's going up again too. So I guess that's the way of our new world. All right, well, it's going to be 69 today. That's really nice, but then it's going to get cold, and we're supposed to have high winds, and I think we're going to have some storms rolling in because it's going to cool way off. So that's never good. So I'm giving us a prayer that we don't end up with tornadoes here in Ohio. So I'm far enough away from the train wreck that it shouldn't be affecting my little area, hopefully. I hope it doesn't get into the water supply for those people. I know it probably already is, but I don't know. From what I'm hearing, they release the chemicals to burn them off on purpose. So, you know, everything's hush-hush. They can't be open about anything anymore. So, I don't know. We'll see. But like I said, it shouldn't be affecting my area. I live very close up north to Lake Erie, and that was more east towards Pennsylvania, and from what I hear, very close to Pittsburgh, I think. Anyway, moving on. I think I'll be okay. So, I do need to go to Costco, but I don't know. I just don't want to spend the money. Once you get on the kick of, oh, I want a green check mark, I want a green check mark, it's like, do I really want a red check mark today? So anyway, let's try the coffee. Cheers. Yes, tastes like French vanilla. So I have to do some cleaning up in the kitchen. I have things all over the place that don't belong here. Things from the Dollar Tree I still have to put away. So I just need to do some basics. I didn't do that the other day when I said that's what I want to do, because I get very easily sidetracked with other projects. And now that my closet is done, before I start a new project, I got to clean up what I already have in my space. So, okay, first thing I'm going to do is enjoy my coffee and look at my budget book and go on from there. So, all right, I'll be back in a little bit. Yesterday was a no-spend day, and I noticed looking at the 2 months together, that's why I like this tracker. I can see both months. I'm doing much better this month on not spending than I did last month, even though last month I had more no-spend than spending days. It was still too much. So this month we're halfway through the month, and I have only spent money on 4 days, and those were pretty much for things that I needed. It wasn't just, oh, I'm going to go shopping just for a fun trip. So, but I do want way more green check marks coming up. But like I said, I have to go to Costco this week and pick up some dog food and dog treats and keep that hopefully to a low spend. Because Costco, when you go there, you spend money. That's just the way it is. And then I'll have to fill up my gas tank, so, you know, it's going to be at least $50, $60, if not closer to $100, because you always find things that you need at Costco. So anyway, that is my green check mark for today. Yay! That makes me happy. And I don't know what today will bring. We'll see. All right. Well, my garden is looking so sad. No leaves except for dark brown ones. My hydrangeas are just sticks. So this is what my garden looks like in the winter. It's not very attractive. So this will definitely come to life in another couple months. So that is my winter garden. And in my window box, that wandering Jenny that's all dead and brown and looks like the Addams family lives here, that will all turn green too. So there you go. Somebody was asking to see my winter garden. Not much to look at. All right, well, here's my back garden. Oh, I have my work cut out for me. I have to clean all this. This is the part that really looks bad because the wind did a lot of damage. It blew over all these trellises. It blew my greenhouse over on top of all this other stuff. It totally destroyed this greenhouse. So lots of work to do there. And then over here, this is my back garden. And I still have parsley that's growing. And I think that's lemon balm, I'm not sure. I still have some oregano growing. Nothing in any of the boxes, but I need to rearrange this whole area. I'm downsizing it, keeping the raised beds, moving my stackable garden to different spots. And then the grow bags I'm going to empty and use as soil in some of my boxes rather than buying new. I'm just going to refurbish the soil from the grow bags, so I'll only have my raised beds over there. And then I still have a little pile of mulch there and over there. I need to redistribute that because it was too much for the last fall. It was when I had my trees taken down. I had them dump the mulch in my driveway, and then I brought it all back here because I keep this all mulched for the dogs to cut down on the mud. So, and then my house is green. I have to power wash that. So lots and lots of work to do back here, and I'm anxious to get started because I don't want to have to do it all at once. So there is my back garden and all my projects. All right. I just wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things that I always have in my stash, whether that's in my freezer, refrigerator, long-term pantry. There's certain things that I always have in the house. I don't run out of them. If I'm running low on them, I will make an effort to go to the store and get those things. So one of the things that I always keep in my long-term stash, well, several things. I always have flour in there. Usually just regular flour. I have other flours too, but I always make sure that I have just all-purpose flour in there. And with that is baking soda, baking powder, and yeast. So those things are important because you can make pasta out of those. You can make seitan out of the flour. You can make bread, you know, all kinds of things out of just plain flour. Cookies, cakes, you know, so I always have a good supply of all-purpose flour. Another thing that I always have in my stash is pasta. I always have rice, even if it's just white rice. You don't have to have 20 different kinds of rice if you prefer brown rice. Whatever your rice of choice is, always have rice in the house. Another thing that I always have in my house, because I'm vegetarian, is nutritional yeast. Also TVP, textured vegetable protein. I always have that on hand. I always have gluten flour. I always keep that on hand. I can make a lot of things out of those, and you know, you don't have to stock like all the things that you find cheap on sale, the prepackaged stuff. You don't need that. I mean, if that's what you like, that's fine, but you don't need that. But you do need some basic things. Another good thing to keep on hand is some sort of egg replacer or dried powdered eggs if you eat eggs, because they're, you know, you use them in so many things. Some sort of, for me, shelf-stable milk, soy milk, or almond milk. I always have that on hand. I don't ever want to run out of that either. Let's see, some of the other things I always keep on hand. Of course, sugar, salt, pepper, whatever spices are your spices of choice. That's, you know, keep a good stock of those. Dry beans, whatever variety you like, or if you like different beans, you know, whatever you like. For me, it's pretty much a variety of beans, plus lentils. Oatmeal, I always have oatmeal. You don't need 20 different kinds, but pick whatever oatmeal you like the best and keep that stocked. As far as produce goes, I always make sure, if I don't have anything else, that I have white potatoes, some sort of onions, lettuce, carrots, usually celery, and then whatever else I get, that's a bonus, you know. I like to keep tomatoes, but if I don't have tomatoes, that's okay. I can use salsa, I can use tomato soup. I'm not going to get into all the canned things that you should keep on hand. if you only had to pick one, I would suggest some sort of mixed vegetables to keep in your freezer, a big huge bag, because you get the most variety with that. And it's the cheapest. So, but you know, anything else that you stockpile, try and stick with the basics, because you get the biggest bang for your buck. You're not going to have a lot of food, random food sitting around, you know. So those are things I like to stock. I like to keep some crackers handy. Bread. I always keep some bread in the freezer and in the refrigerator. I can make my own bread too, but you know, if I'm out shopping, I usually pick up a loaf or two and then freeze part of it. Another thing that I like to keep on hand and stocked all the time are different sauces, whether they're homemade or whether they're store-bought, you know, like, and also mayonnaise and mustard. Again, you don't need 20 different mustards. Pick your favorite mayo, and stick with the basics. Peanut butter. I always like to keep peanut butter in stock because that lasts a long time, and it's something that you can stockpile easily. I think a lot of people overcomplicate stockpiling, and you know, I've said it before, you don't need food for 20 years. I don't think I would like to eat food that's that old. I would if I didn't have anything else, but you know, I know a lot of these companies, they'll say, oh, you know, buy like $600-700 worth of food. It'll last you 3 months, and it lasts, I mean, for 3 months, and it'll last you 20 years. Well, I don't need that. You know, I just stick with the basics, and then I never have a problem. So those are a lot of the things that I always keep on hand. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. Oh, freezer stuff. I always have some kind of burger patty, whatever the choice is, whatever your favorite is, or a couple different choices, that's up to you. But I always keep those on hand. I always have tofu for me because it's a big protein source for me, and I can make a lot of different things with tofu. If you're a meat eater, stock just your basic meats, your hamburger, your chicken, you know, if you eat pork, that. And actually, if you have those 3 meats, you're going to be good to go. And then you can always add whatever else you like, you know, but as a vegetarian, those are things that I want to keep on hand. So, you always want to have salt. Did I say salt and pepper? I think I did. Tea, coffee. If you're a tea and coffee drinker, you can always make iced tea, hot tea, medicinal tea, whatever kind of tea you like. Again, you don't need 20 different kinds of tea. You can have just basic green tea, black tea, whatever your favorite tea is. Stockpile that. The rest of the stuff you can sort of supplement with your basics whenever you go shopping. But pick a few basic things, make yourself a list. You can do it in categories of beverages, freezer, refrigerator, stockpile basics, and then just pick 1 or 2 things of each. And then the rest, you know, is sort of pick and choose. You can put whatever on there you like. But always having the basics, at least you'll have food security, and you can make a lot of different things. So, let's see, maybe ketchup. Keep that on stock, because you can make a lot of different sauces just with mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup. And if you keep some mixed up in your refrigerator, you can always pick a protein, you can pick a carb, and a sauce, and a vegetable. So the fresh veggies that I choose to stock, I mean, I buy the flash food boxes, and it depends. They're random. Sometimes you get a ton of this and nothing of that. So, but I always want to make sure that I at least have lettuce, because I can put that on sandwiches, I can put that on burgers, I can make a salad out of it. Lettuce is good for a lot of different things. And then, you know, add your other things to it. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about basic stockpiling. I know some people are relatively new to it, and it can be overwhelming, but if you just sit down and make yourself a list of the basic things that you use, the simple basic things you use, and don't overcomplicate it. You know, don't buy 20 boxes of crackers if you're not going to eat 20 boxes of crackers. Or don't buy a lot of boxed, pre-made food. It's, you know, you're better off just to make your own. Let's see what else. Mushrooms, I like to keep mushrooms on hand, but if I don't have any, I have dried mushrooms. So I do keep dried mushrooms on hand, because they're good in a pinch for gravy, as long as you have some flour as a thickener, some mushrooms, some bouillon or something. That's a good thing to stock, different bouillons. You can stock, or you can make your own. You can make your own veggie bouillon. There's lots of recipes of faux chicken or faux beef that have that flavor, that umami flavor, but in a pinch, it'll make a great gravy. And of course, you'll have potatoes, so you can make mashed potatoes, and you'll have your shelf-stable milk, so you can make mashed potatoes and gravy. So there's all kinds of things that you can make, simple foods that you don't have to overcomplicate. Now, I know a lot of us, we like to cook a variety of meals, and that's wonderful. I like to cook a variety of meals too. But I'm talking about your stockpile, and in a pinch, some of the things that you might need. And it's different for all of us. You know, we don't all eat the same. There's a lot of recipes out there for different sauces. You can make your own enchilada sauce if you like a lot of that, or you can make your own salad dressings. Vinegar and oil, that's another must. That's a very basic must. A gallon of vinegar, or 2 or 3. You can use it to clean the baking soda. You can use that with the vinegar, makes a good cleaning solution. And of course, oil. Now I know some people don't cook with oil, but in a pinch, even if you don't have butter and you have bread, you can always use oil with herbs and dip your bread in that, like they do in Italian restaurants. Or you can brush oil on your bread and toast it. Doesn't have to be butter. So, and there are actually lots of recipes out there. You can make your own butter with heavy cream if you have enough of that, but there's lots of dairy-free recipes for butter out there on the web and in cookbooks. So, I mean, the choices are endless. It's, you know, it's all up to you. If there's certain beverages that you like, now I drink iced tea usually, but I like the little flavor packets, the flavor enhancers, so I always keep some of those in stock. And if push comes to shove, you can make lemonade if you have lemons. You can that's another thing that's a nice thing to have. You can freeze dry, not freeze dry, but dehydrate lemons and oranges. You can put those in your teas. You can freeze whole lemons, and they'll be perfectly fine for lemon juice. And you can zest the rind. That's good in baking or in fish dishes, or something like that. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, your stockpile. Some of you I know are a little bit new to stockpiling, and it can be pretty overwhelming and pretty confusing as to what you should put in your stockpile. But if you just keep in mind what it is you like to eat and cook, and just keep the basics. You can ask yourself, how many things can I make with this bag of flour? Or how many things can I make with this bag of rice? If you have rice and you don't have milk, you can make rice milk. You can make all different kinds of milks from grains and beans. Like if you have soybeans, you can make milk out of that. If you have nuts, you can make almond milk, cashew milk, hemp milk. So if you like those different dairy-free milks, then I would suggest stocking some of the basic grains or nuts that you use to make those milks in case you don't have any milk. All right, well, I'm sure I'm forgetting things, so if you think of more things that you think should go in a stockpile, leave it in the comments below. We can all learn from each other. And right now my stockpile is as big as I want it to get. I don't want to keep building my stockpile. I'm pretty much at a level where I'm just going to replace the things that I use up. In other words, if I bring something up from my long-term stockpile, I'm just going to replace that item and not buy 10 more. So unless it's like a super duper great deal, then I might stock a few extra. But other than that, I don't want to continue to build up my stockpile. It's good the way it is. So, don't keep thinking, try not to get the mindset of, oh my God, I'm going to starve to death. Think about what's reasonable. What can you eat? What can your family eat? And go by that guideline. As you cook, and you put more things in your freezer, then eat up some of the things that you had in there before. So that's a circle of freshness. So you don't want to keep freezing and freezing and freezing, because especially, I find that especially home-cooked things don't last that long. So, try to rotate that along with everything else. So if you made spaghetti and you froze 3 spaghetti dinners, and then you cooked a soup and you have 3 more soups, then eat the spaghetti and put the soup in. So, okay, that's all I have on the advice on stockpiling. Like I said, if you have more advice, leave it in the comments below, and we can learn from each other. All right, that's my chit-chat for the day. All right, it's dinner time, and some of you have asked me to continue to make suggestions of what I eat in a day. So I'm sort of shopping my refrigerator and freezer. So I, again, have this chickpea and rice burger. If you're a meat eater, just pick a burger patty or whatever you have on hand. So I'm having that. I'm going to have 2 slices of American cheese. I have a bun that actually I've had a while. My grandson brought this home from his other grandma's, and this was left over, so I'm having that tonight. I'm also having some of the pickle slices from my homemade pickles. And then I'm going to make a sauce for my burger with the mayo must that I've had forever and my homemade zucchini relish. So that'll go on my burger. Here I have a potato that I got in the flash food box. I'm going to have that. I'm going to coat those with some of this cheesesteak seasoning. This is pretty good. And I'm going to spray them with some butter spray. I think this is from the Dollar Tree. I can't remember. Anyway, that's going to be my dinner tonight. I'm just going to have fries and a burger, and that'll be tasty. All right, I'll be back once I get this all put together. Okay, I always save old bread bags, and this is what I save them for. I'm just going to spray my fries with a little bit of this spray, and I'm going to make these in my air fryer. It goes really quick, about 10 minutes, and it's done. Sorry for the noise. And then this is going on too. Now when you season your fries, taste the seasoning you're using and make sure that it's not too salty, so you don't put too much seasoning on your fries, unless you like them really salty. But, you know, different seasonings that you buy have different amounts of salt in them. So that's going in the air fryer. This is going in the microwave. This bun I'm going to butter and also put in the air fryer so that it toasts a little bit. And then I'm going to assemble my dinner. I'll be back. Okay, so if you keep burger patties in your freezer, make them ahead. If you buy ground beef or ground whatever on sale, make yourself some patties. Don't just freeze it in a big clump, and you'll always have something quick that you can fix to eat. So I mixed up my sauce here with my homemade zucchini relish, and this stuff is really good mixed with mayo, or you know, just make your own secret sauce. Now you can put tomato, lettuce, you know, whatever you want on a burger. Alright, I'm going to put some of my homemade onions, pickled onions, on here as well. Fresh onion would be great too, or even caramelized onion. Alright, so the burger took like 2 minutes because I made it ahead. I'm just going to put that right on top and just top it with the toasted bun. Now the thing is with buns, if you butter them and toast them, if they're a little bit stale or if they've been around for a while, they're good as fresh. So I'm going to put a little bit of this crunch in my little thing here, and that's going to be for my French fries. And there's still a little bit of that special sauce in there. So there we go. A quick and easy dinner. Didn't take hardly any time at all. It took under 15 minutes. So let me give this a taste. I'll taste the fries first. Like I said, be mindful of how much salt is in whatever you're going to put on your fries, because you don't want them too salty. That wouldn't be good. I love French fries. And with an air fryer, they're so quick and easy to make. You don't have all that oil and grease all over the place. They're less calories. These are really good with this crunch. I like these sauces. They're by Heinz. Couple of them were given to me. I bought a couple and they last forever. So let me try my burger. I think that looks good. Use whatever burger you have. Use a meat burger, use a veggie burger, use a bean burger, but make ahead some burgers and keep them in your freezer. All right, here we go. Having pickle relish on hand. Whether it's sweet or dill, is great. If you don't have pickles around, you can use it to make potato salad, pasta salad, deviled eggs. It's just very, very versatile. And, you know, keep that with your condiments. Keep the burgers in the freezer. Freeze your buns. Sometimes around here you freeze your buns off. All right, I'm going to eat now. And I'll be back. Okay, well, I wanted to come back on and wrap things up. As far as my budget tracking goes, I've noticed that one thing, I think the biggest impact it's having on my spending is it's keeping me off of Amazon, because that is a bone of contention with me. So, and it's something that I definitely wanted to get a handle on. Now, a lot of things that I buy on Amazon, I don't buy clothes or shoes or, you know, that kind of commodities on Amazon. But I do buy some food items, like nutritional yeast or, you know, just things along those lines. I do buy those, and I will continue to buy those. I bought my repair pieces for my microwave on Amazon. I bought my indoor garden things on Amazon. So those things, I usually buy functional things on Amazon, but they aren't necessarily things that I have to have. Some things I do have to have, but you know, and then you go on there and you see this and you see that. So it has cut back on my Amazon shopping. I don't think I bought anything. I might have bought one thing on Amazon this past couple weeks. But anyway, I don't know. But it has cut way back on that. So that's a good thing. Other than that, that's all I have for you today, my friends. So I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.